An Australian oil seeker gave his testimony about the August flight session. This is not a health unit, but way back in the Manchester conference, Mr. Cash read his graph and asked him if he had cancer. He didn't know, except he had already been bleeding through his intestine regularly. This man's very courageous because he has been bleeding for months and months, and yet he's not afraid and doesn't go and confirm it with the doctors. And before the August flight test, he had been bleeding every day and feeling weak, and in his mind, he resigned and accepted his possible death. In the second hour of his flight, he felt the expansion of his soul. The sensation was like he had been blown up like a balloon, and that he was inside his soul, and it stayed like that for maybe 5 minutes. After that, his bleeding stopped, and he feels really good inside. It's been 12 days and no bleeding, and he describes it like a miracle.
My name is Nick V from Sydney, Australia, and I'd just like to make a testimony of the 24th transmutation test last month.
Hi Nick, how are you?
Yeah, hello, Mr. Kesh. Good,
Are
yourself?
you sure you want to go out with this?
Well, I was going to say it last week, but I thought I'd wait another 7 days just to make sure and make an honest assessment of it, an opinion.
Okay,
Would you like me to tell it or?
go ahead. We know the situation and thanks God for that. Go ahead.
No worries. So what happened, I did the transmutation test on the 24th, and I actually had a feeling that I was drawn to it, to be honest. Now, I did have a medical condition the last 2 months where I was really bleeding a lot internally. So when I went to the restroom, it was very, very heavy. And this happened I started bleeding internally about 4 years ago, but it just was on and off. And now I've had a lot of hits, accidents in my life. So I've always soldiered on, and really just try to exercise myself and eat properly and just try to see if it goes. But I know 2 years ago when I went to the Manchester, London, the Plasma Space Traveller group, and I went on the headphones, the Iranian units, cosmic ray units. I know Mr. Kess called the team, and he said, please give me a graph of what happens when they're on the units. Now, when my graph came, Mr. Kesh told me a bit about it, and he actually noticed something. He said, do you have cancer? And I said, well, I'm not sure, Mr. Kesh, but I do have something wrong with me. And I don't know if you remember that, but that's what you told me from the graphs, from those cosmic ray Iranian units that you got. And so what happened, I kept on, every now and then the bleeding will start and stop. But for some reason, the last 2 months, it was really, really bad. And all the signs turned out, when I read about the signs that I had in that, it was colon cancer. So what happened, I said to myself, well, it is what it is. And I knew it was pretty bad. So I said to myself, just I'll go as long as I can with it. And then if I need hospitalization at the end and whatever happens, I'll do it. But I was hoping it will go. So 1 month, full on bleeding. There was no really pain, but it was just every time going to the restroom was just a real lot of blood. Second month, the same thing. And then that's when the transmutation test on the 24th happened. So I said to myself, 1 more month, if it happens, then I'll go and I'll have to go in. So, but I remember just before the 1 week before the transmutation test, I was getting very tired. So I was more tired than usual. So I knew the bleeding I was losing a lot of blood. Anyway, I did the transmutation test. So I think it was about the second hour, I felt myself just expand, like blow up and just expand, but it stayed there. And I can't remember how long I was there for, but it felt like I was there maybe 5 minutes, maybe more. And then the test ended in that. But what happened? I felt good. I went to sleep. When I woke up in this next morning, usual, the bleeding completely stopped. And I was thinking, first time in 2 months, maybe I was thinking, is it the transmutation test? Is it, this? And so the second day, third day, fourth day, nothing at all. Now it's been 12 days. My bleeding is completely stopped, like a miracle. Now, the next day when I woke up too, I was really energized and really happy. There was no bleeding for the next 3 days. Really, really happy, really energized, and really positive about, like, it was like a big breakthrough for me. I knew something about that test and how I expanded. To me, it felt like my soul expanded, and I was inside it. So because I was inside it, my soul was bringing everything into perfection. But my soul like gave me more time. It's like I needed more time. My soul needed more time on earth to learn. So I'm not sure if it's completely gone or whatever. I had the cancer, but there's no blood at all. I feel perfect condition, very healthy. I've been going to the gym, and I'm actually doing more at the gym than what I was doing before. And yeah, I just like to say thank you, Mr. Kesh. That was a miracle for me. And um, yeah, the last few months, it's been really hard. I've been going through a lot, and having to deal with that it was pretty messy. But I was amazed at how your technology works, and to hear it is a different thing, but to go through it and then to witness it and to feel it, and even when I go to the restroom now, there's still no blood, and I'm still amazed, to be honest, even though it's 12 days later. So thank you very much, Mr. Kesh, for that.
You're welcome. I hope you find peace with it. And that's all that matters.
Okay. I understand.
That's all that matters.